really lumpy. Massive lifting set. Snowboarding to be trying to escape this. Very, very lumpy here. Jeez. Woohoo! Good landing. And flat calm down here. Whoa! Rock and roll. I'd be a lot happier doing that on the comp wing. And you got a lot more control, a lot more feedback. But out of sight, we've got the wind turbine there pointing north, showing wind coming from the northwest. The quarry faces southwest, so the wind here is pretty well southwest at the top. And as you can see, it's flat calm down here at the moment. And whoa, gust coming in. That's not that much, but it's about 6 knots on my face. Nothing at the ground level. Flat calm. No air movement there at all. Yeah, definitely very, very mixy. Great fun though. And there's a good track on the snowboard. Nice landing on the snowboard. That was a good one. Clouds are looking a lot heavier than they were. But blue skies up to the north. Seconds after I just switched off the camera, and you can see the wing right down at ground level and slightly in the hollow, moving about. A lot more wind down here, and yet right down on the surface. Nothing there. Yep, again. What I'll do is take off the snowboard so I can demo this a wee bit better. The problem with this is you've got 5, including a leash, to disconnect. See if we can see just what this wind's doing. Check airspace, rear riser surge, and again, check, slow, 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 slow. And rechecking, just the A's. Okay, so there's not much at the moment, just dropped right off again. Feels like something coming in there. Nothing much, and still light, still light, still light. It's definitely switching off and on, and that's down at the bottom. Right, anyway, gather the gearing up. I'm down here. It's been switching about 90 degrees and picking up and down, and perfect soarable conditions for the bird of prey. Just sitting there. Clouds are moving about 90 degrees to the wind direction that bird of prey has, and later on we're actually expecting southerlies. Those clouds are northwest, maybe north-northwest, something like that. Bird of prey is probably facing west. Very strange air, but not too unexpected with the forecast. There's a deep low pushing in, and we've had high pressure for a few days, but it's about to get pushed out. Turbines still north-northwest. Been getting a bit of lift down here right at the bottom, and sometimes you can fly the low slope from here. So I'm going to take a chance. I'm trying it with one boot in, one boot loose. Kind of the normal for starting off in a toe. Give me more manoeuvrability, and got some fun and see if this works. Wouldn't bet on it. Both boots, and that actually went a lot better than I thought. When lying on my back with the wing above me, I had to flip round onto the toe rail, and then had quite a nice carve across there. So that probably would work if you were in a better launch area. But you definitely don't have the same control as you can get with skis, and clearly not anything like the control you can have when you're just on foot with the board slung over your shoulder. But definitely a learning exercise, worthwhile. Conditions now, with the board just slung over the shoulder, it took minutes to get up here using the wing. So I'm going to have a try at the launch without being clipped in on the back foot, as is normal, starting off on ski toes. But it's kind of set up so that there's a chance I can clip in midair if necessary. So a lot stronger. Get the gloves on, you see the gorse moosh moving. I'm using the hollow to shelter the wing, and I want to get up to the top, and the aim is to fly across to the second part of the hill, which I might need to do in a couple of steps. So I'll land on the low plateau below the wee quarry and maybe fly the front, maybe fly the top, but see how it plays. And again, because I'm likely to fall over, as I've done several times, just got to chuck the camera into the jacket. Right, airspace as far as I can tell is clear. When you're launching from these type of sites and there's other people about, you really want to break it down into steps. So the wing's up, it's steady, there's a slow taxi. It gives people plenty of time to see that you're about to take off. And always remember which beat you've got the right of way. It doesn't matter if you've got right of way. If somebody's coming around the corner and they can't see you till the last second, it's not good. So launch from the top. Use the wing to jog up to the top. Make sure you're fully visible, stand there for a minute or so, and then ease off slowly. Big gust there. Right, let's see what this is like. Probably quite lumpy. That should be recording. Got it nicely tucked into the jacket, so I'll tend to point to my right a bit. One boot is loose. Tactile visual audio checks, airspace checks. Let's just see how much energy there is there. Oh yeah! Wow! But it is actually easier with one boot loose, albeit you've got all the load of the snowboard on one ankle. But yeah, I'm tiptoe and just kind of heel dragging. So the board is clipped on the left, and the problem is keeping the back end of the board with the logo off the ground so it doesn't drag too much. Quite a risk of wrenching your ankle, but definitely easier sitting down. Definitely easier with the right foot, just a hop jog about. Okay, just waiting and get enough lift to get up. Rock the weight forwards and up. Almost up to the top of the slope. Through the hollow. Yep. There we go, launching. Oh yes. Right. Whoa. That board down. And just on the stump. Oh, going down again. Yeah, harder for that. Can't really walk. I've got to kind of hop on the right, the free foot, and just watch your ankle for leverage with the board. So I'm lifting my left leg there a bit so it's just catching, and get it flat. My first snowboard bindings had stomp plates that let you automatically clip in the boots. That was much easier. This would also be easier on a higher performance wing. Shorter, more precise controls, and of course more efficient. Yep, again, you'll let yourself drop. Just let the board slide, so that's on its back rail there. Both feet on the board. Stomping left foot. Yeah, I'd say a bigger sight, you clip in both feet. A tricky sight like this, but without the gorse and straight out into lift. For short flights, you might leave a foot free. Again there, that's fine, got both feet on the board for a second. Watch out for gorse bushes right in front of me. So you stomp up back into the left. With the snowboard on the left foot, got no traction at all on that foot. Going down, yeah, there's a lot of that. Right. Okay. Let's see their phone or message coming through. Now I'm about 30-40 foot back. Let's see if I can get the camera around. Yep, 30-40 foot back from the edge, so the wing's not really in great lift here. Save the memory in the battery, switch it off. See, that's how I'm working. Got one, whoops, go get frontal in a second, there we go, recover it. Right, powering down. Right, sun out again. The wind's top end, got the safety risers clipped in at the moment, as this is a 4 riser glider. The C's on the floating C tag works as the safeties. So very top end just now, I've got the snowboard fully clipped in. Camera's going to go off. Let's see if I can kind of shuffle my way forward and get out into that lift. And then I might just go back and get a cup of tea. That's definitely getting top end up here. I mean, that was probably hitting 18-20 knots, albeit that's just at the top of the ridge. With the snowboard on, trying to get forward in that, yeah, it's just not really on, and then when you land, you really got to watch your ankles. Now it's not so bad with both clipped in, but up to this point I actually had just the lead foot clipped in and the back one you really got to watch for twisting forces. So, we'll get gloves back on, camera away, and see if it can pop up and get round and forwards there to launch. Could be best described as interesting. Right, with a nice gentle rounded back, albeit way over there is a fence line. Kind of that plus the safety riser procedure that I teach makes this a fair non-event. But nonetheless, you can see there snowboard just how far you get dragged, because that's actually being pulled through. So just timing it, so on the down cycle, safety riser's on, and then you get that last drag, that's the back. You're lying flat in the back. The rest of that, about 15 feet of that, that's the snowboard, and then there's a whole lot more over there. It's possible at launching from the slope you can get forward, but certainly on the top when the wind's that strong and you've got snowboard, you just can't manoeuvre in the same way as you would normally. Skis, yes, you got a bit better control, but snowboard, no way. You need to be able to move the feet independently. But short twin tip skis, not too bad for that, but I still wouldn't recommend it. It's one of the reasons I almost always launch on foot with skis or snowboard slung over the shoulder. But if you're flying a nice easy ridge, then skis, snowboard, great fun because you can do the touch and go skimming along. But if you're just going up to fly, it's very rare that it's worth launching with the skis or snowboard on. Better having them slung on the back, better weight distribution, less drag, all that sort of stuff, more control. So I'm going to hike back there, see what it's like, and maybe launch on the face, have a wee soar, and then head back, bite to eat. Lovely day though. Chilly, windy, which is good for flying, but lovely. And the weather's held off. There is snow forecast, but it's more on the west coast. Unfortunately, the spot winds are indicating that we could get as much as 20-25 knots, but now the high pressure's moving away, we're actually getting at the ground level. It's not so much the wind speed, it's the variability, the gust factor that's the issue. Plus being out on your own, you don't have any backup. So that's the top bit that was up there. The gust cycles, you can see the snowboard touching down there, and then down. Use a lot of fine control to avoid the gorse bushes. Sort of tic-tac, zigzag. But at no point was able to get forward enough to be on the slope to fly forward, so it was just tacking, and then you just got one gust a bit too strong, plus the lack of control with the snowboard, and you're up there, and then rapidly up the back. And then it's full safety riser procedure, just time it and stop the wing. No problem. So, a wee bit further down, pop the wing up, just on foot at the moment, snowboard slung over the shoulder, and see what it's like. Camera off. Coming in over there, losing sight of the Lomans. Quite strong up here just now. Clip back into the snowboard. If we get a wee lull, launch off, fly out, down, and then I think head to South Bank of the Tay for some snowboarding. It's definitely starting to get a bit messy. Wind direction on the turbines changed a bit, so it's now more northwesterly. It's not as north as it was, but a lot of strength in this. And again, phone's going off over there. I spent several minutes trying to get forward, getting synced down to just about touching the gorse bushes on the slope and then back up, but at no point was I getting any forward penetration. Now, a lot of the tricks you could normally do, you just can't do with a snowboard. You can't really get the rolling wing overs. Certainly you don't have the speed bar set up, and even trying to use the snowboard to increase the drag on the pilot as well as going upright in the harness to increase the drag on the pilot just simply wasn't enough. So eventually just touching down there, you can see the first touchdown, knowing we've got plenty of room at the back here, but not wanting to go back, wanting to use this slightly sheltered area. The gorse bushes mean that low down here there's less wind. So as soon as I touched down there, already had the safety risers on, as the wing surged down, you can see the first probably 4 or 5 feet is with the snowboard, and then it's just lying flat on your back, safety risers locked in, drag stops there, and you can see the edge. Snowboard goes back down on the ground, and then you have to hold the safeties in while you release the board. It's one of the biggest problems with the snowboards. Skis, you can set the bindings so they'll release. Snowboards, you're locked in, and you really got to watch catches, anything, fences, your wires, if you're flying the normal flying sites. And even worse if you've got one leg detached, because then you've got lots of torsion injuries. So you make sure the wing's fully dead, safety riser procedure, all the stuff we teach is basic training. Release the snowboard, which is quite awkward to do when you're lying down like that, so that takes a couple of minutes. The wing is dead, but held with the wind. So it's not moving because you're still, your body's still. Release the snowboard, up on the feet, everything's easy now. So I'm going to clip the snowboard round the back, sling it over, and see if I can fly down, but with having the feet. So I've got all that harness control that we normally use, and that's the key. You've got all this extra control. Use the snowboard, use skis, and you're reducing a lot of it. So if you're not used to flying in the winter, and I'm fairly used to it, if you're not used to flying in the winter but with ski gear, snowboard gear, experienced pilot, you've got to treat every site, every condition as if you're a beginner. You know, so really reel in the margins that you might normally take. Play safe and have fun. Right, get the snowboard slung on the back. Slung on the back. Let's fly through the levels. There you go. That's the pickup. going, let it into the edge. So what's very, very difficult and takes several attempts unsuccessfully with the snowboard on your feet, absolute piece of proverbial, very, very easy. When you're on your feet, you got that delicate control and off. But certainly if you're flying the big ski centres, open areas, and in good conditions, up in the mountains, you don't want these sort of winds and gusts that we've got down here. If you're flying in good conditions, then I've done launches with skis, snowboards, it's not really a big issue, although I still prefer flying without them. Anyway, fingers are getting chilly. Head to South Bank of the Tay and get some snowboarding. Yeah.